People always have high expectations for geniuses. Two girls talk as they kept on walking. One exclaimed to look at a person. She said that he is the genius of their college, and also she has heard that he had mastered all the advanced spy programs of every profession. The other one said that the guy looked pretty good too. She asked if he would definitely switch to a powerful class job that day. The girl said he would surely. She said that when that happens, she will confess her feelings to him. 100 years ago, the world was invaded by monsters. All sorts of monsters appear and people began awakening skills. The fate facing humanity had one by one become switch stations that would fight monsters and level up, or else it would be just death. And geniuses always attract attention at such times. Their abilities determine the fate of humanity. Finally, the moment had arrived. He said his name was Jiang Li, and 18 years ago, he had crossed over to the world. With exceptional talent, he had been tirelessly learning various abilities. He only had one goal: to become the absolute strongest. Such excellent talent was sure to awaken a hidden job class. Jobs were divided into basic jobs, advanced jobs, and hidden jobs. The strength of jobs and the difficulty of awakening increased in sequence, especially for hidden jobs. It was like finding a needle in a haystack, awakening to obtain overwhelming power. His future was boundless. He had never been wrong previously. Being too outstanding would always attract jealousy and dissatisfaction from some people. A bulky guy in a black tee asked if it was not the highly anticipated genius Jiang Li. He further asked about what kind of advanced job class he was planning to awaken that day. Yan Shu was from the Golden Domain, who was one of the 3 geniuses of their Golden Domain Academy. His father was a powerful Golden Class practitioner. Jiang Li thought that everywhere on campus he was always one step ahead. Jiang Li replied that he did not know just what to awaken. Yan Shu said to him to stop showing off, or he might awaken from a garbage job class. He further muttered to not blame them for not giving him face when that would happen. Jiang Li asked him to let go. Jiang Li thought, indeed, as they say, he would definitely be the center of attention that day. If awakening failed, it would be truly embarrassing. Once a genius fails, it becomes a laughingstock. Class 1 Zhang Danyu awakened and failed first. The female inspector said that even for students awakening to ordinary professions, there is nothing to lose heart. She further consoled me to keep striving and that there is potential in everyone. She asked for the next candidate. Next awakening happened, and it was successful. The sound of cheering boomed as people shouted to look at the site of awakening. Advanced job class, Swift Archer. Lam Yuan successfully awakened as a Swift Archer. Everyone murmured that it was the girl from their Golden Domain Academy. The instructor asked for the next applicant. Another flash happened. Another advanced class. Class 3, Yan Xiu successfully awakened as an advanced job class. Flame Mage, Yan Xiu asked and said that it was just an advanced class. Boys murmured that 2 consecutive advanced classes, that class was really strong and there were even stronger ones coming up. Yan Xiu said that although it was just an advanced job class, it was already super impressive in the eyes of others, a bunch of inexperienced fools. He further asked Jiang Li to not think that his clone-like efforts could change everything. He said that talent is something you are born with. Jiang Li thought of him as a moron. The instructor called Class 4 Jiang Li. The called one ran. The woman judge asked if he was Jiang Li, the one with the best grades in his school. The bald judge appreciated that he really stood out. Jiang Li awakened and blue light flashed all over. The awakening created a scene of amazement and silence. The judge slammed his hand on the table and muttered, to think such a commotion would happen. They doubted if it could be the unique hidden job class. Basic job class. Mage. The judges talked and asked about what was going on there. They further asked if he wasn't supposed to be the best student. They questioned a mage. Everybody whispered. Yang Xiu laughed and said that it served him right. He said that his flame mage was better than that. Everybody swarmed around the Swift Archer and mocked Jiang Li. They said that the so-called genius seemed fake, or was Ji Muan the real deal. One of them asked her to take her in her wing. She was willing to be her follower. Jiang Li stood in horror, speechless. Everybody laughed that he was supposed to be a top student, yet all he got was a mage. They said that they had such high hopes for nothing. Everybody laughed and asked if those were the result. Murmurs and chatters boomed regarding what happened. One said, so embarrassing. The other one asked if they saw the principal's expression. Someone asked them to lower their voices to not let anyone hear them. Jiang Li stood alone and thought if that was all it was to it. A message popped up on screen. Congratulations on awakening a special talent. Skills automatically max level. Jiang Li questioned his special talent. He said that he had never heard of such a thing before. He asked if there could be a connection to his crossing over. Jiang Li looked over at the screen depicting a chart for Fireball spell, Light Armor spell, Meditation spell. He looked at the graph and asked if that was his skill. He further questioned that it was not max level. The graph started to spike up. It reached level 5 and then level 7. Jiang Lai looked at it with amazement as the graph kept on reaching high. As the graph reached its limit, he asked about what was going on. He recalled that he remembers teacher Pujing mentioning that after awakening as a practitioner, each profession comes with 3 levels. 1. Starting skill, and after leveling up, the strength and effects undergo a qualitative leap, but leveling up skills is very difficult. Currently, there should still be people who could max out all their skills. Jiang Lai smiled and muttered that the skill max level turned out to be so simple. He smirked and said that it seemed fate had not abandoned him after all. He thought that the skill's automatically max level turned out to be more awesome than a hidden job class. The judge grabbed him by the shoulders and spoke out his name. He asked him to not be discouraged. He further said that even though it was not a hidden job class, at least he had become a practitioner. He said that his future still held endless possibilities and all the teachers believed in him. Jiang Lai thanked his principal and said that he will continue to work hard. The principal asked him to cheer up and go back to the classroom. Principal thought of him as what a good kid. He found it truly commendable. Jiang Lai thought that, as expected, reality could be harsh compared to seeing a genius succeed. People prefer watching a genius fail, but he was really going to disappoint them all after all. The next scene is from the trial shooting range where Yan Xiu fought with others. His friends praise him, calling his performance impressive and remarkable. Yan Xiu looked at Jiang Li and called him. He said, "You there, the ordinary mage." He used his powers of flame mage and said to him that he was talking to him. Jiang Li asked what happened. Yan Xiu said to let their genius show off his skills. Jiang Li dismissed his offer and said to forget it, and they could practice on their own. He said he did not need to practice, he was already skilled. Yan Xiu thundered and asked if he dared to compete with him, an advanced flame mage. He asked him to quit the nonsense. He asked who said anything about practicing. He was asking him to show off his skills. He told him that he was just a wimp. They both turned the ground into a fighting battle, and the bulky guy asked Jiang Lai to cut it. He asked a basic fireball spell, if he was even serious. Waves of flame played and ended up surprising everybody. Yan Xiu asked about what was going on. He said that could not be happening. He asked Jiang Lai if he was not a basic mage. They thought that the power of that basic level fireball spell was outrageous. The scene is from Jiang Li's home. Jiang Lai thought that although the power of the fireball at full level was great, just that last one almost used up half of his mana. He had to quickly level up and increase the maximum amount of mana. Jiang Lai got surprised as a voice asked him how he could come back without saying a word. The voice was of Jiang's mother, Dan Qingsu. He murmured, "Mom," quietly. She asked him to wash his hands and that it was time to eat. She served them food on the table. Jiang Lai said to his mom that he had successfully awakened today and that he was a mage. His mom smiled at him brightly and said that mages are great. She advised him to use skills from the back row in the team, relatively safer than the front row. She stood up and said that she had something for him. She picked out a box from underneath and put it on the table. She said that it was from his father, and back then, he was also a powerful professional. Jiang Li asked about his father. He queried about what she had told him about his father being dead long before he was born. He asked, since he was a powerful professional, where he went in the end. He asked why he had ignored them for so many years. She replied that she did not know either. He has only said he was going to the edge of the world, and over there were very important matters to attend to, so he had left in a hurry. She requested his son not to blame him, and he had promised to make him a mage. That was why she had always emphasized his studies and mage skills. She said that now that he has grown up and become a mage, she trailed off. She wiped her tears and said that she was tired. She asked him to go back to his room and rest first so he could check the box. Jiang Lai stood speechless there. He glanced at the box and opened it softly. That bright golden light emerged from it, and he looked at it with amazement. There was a message written on the box that stated, using the scrolls present in the box, he could change his profession to a powerful arcanist. Requirements for profession change was mage class profession strength to reach the gold level or above. He murmured profession change scroll. It was a profession change scroll that could change to a special profession. The requirements were to reach the gold level of the profession. In that world, the professions were clearly divided into normal, iron, bronze, silver, gold, holy domain, and at the top it was demigod. When you reach a certain level and meet the corresponding conditions, you can break through to the next rank. His father was one of the top professionals in the gold level, but even he was only at the level. Jiang Lai thought what rank his father was at so that he could obtain such a scroll. Holy domain or demigod? If he had such strength, why had there been no news for so many years? But for then, he had to find a way to level up and become the gold-level professional, and in 7 days, the trial for professionals in Jin City would begin. By then, their batch would also participate in the professional trial, so it was good to prepare in advance. The new scene begins on a bright day. A guy in red Clark asked and said, another ignorant kid who did not know the height of the sky and the thickness of the earth, just had awakened and was rushing to the wilderness to court death. One questioned if he was a powerful professional. The guy asked if she was blind. He asked her to look at how skinny he was and what else could he be besides a mage. She put her palm on Jiang Li's shoulder and said, little brother. She continued and said that judging from his aura, he must be a newly awakened student. She asked him if he wanted to join them. A guy with long hair and a bare chest said to her that they had important matters to attend to at that time and they could not bring such a burden with them. The other man nodded and said that it was his own business if he did not know his limits. The woman's name was Vivi. He said that she was just too kind. She put her hand on her waist and asked them why they were like that. Jiang muttered that it was okay. He smiled and thanked her for her kindness. He said that he would be fine on his own. Vivi reached out to him and asked him to wait for a moment. He looked at her blankly. She gave a bottle to Jiang Li that shined blue brightly. She said that since he did not want to team up with them, at least take that. She said that since he was also a mage, he should find it useful later. He took the bottle and thanked her. She said that they would leave first. She asked him to take care of himself. The new scene is from Grey Forest, where stood a level 4 big brother goblin with a log on his shoulder. Jiang Li clicked his fingers and threw a fireball shell at the goblin. It attacked him and he got destroyed within seconds. Jiang Li muttered, indeed, the max level fireball spell took care of the level 4 goblin in an instant. Jiang looked behind his back at the source of sudden murmurs. He looked at a pair of green legs and then it multiplied to numerous. Multiple goblins looked at him, their eyes glowing red with rage. He asked them if they were attracted by the commotion just then. As they attacked him, he thought it was for good, that it would save him from having to search one by one. He threw a light armor spell at them, protecting himself. This light armor prevented anyone from coming near him. He said that the max level light armor spell was not easily broken through. He said the fireball spell was ready again, and with that, he attacked them with it. It threw all of them backward with a major push. Jiang Li smirked and said that it was like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. He got an alert that stated that he was leveled up by 1 level. He had moved to current level 2. He complained that the experience given was too little. A goblin stood up again. Jiang Li clicked his fingers and said that no matter how many goblins come, the result is the same. No fireball spell was generated. Jiang Li checked his energy chart. He sighed and said that he was out of mana already. He said that he cast only 2 fireball spells and 1 light armor spell, and even though he just leveled up and increased his mana pool. Luckily, the shield from light armor spell was still half full. He would replenish his mana with meditation after finishing them off. Jiang Li picked up a log of wood and said to the goblins that they could not break through his defense anyway. He said that he would play with them. He asked to let him show them, and he attacked them with the wood, the power of a melee mage. Goblins also attacked Jiang Li. Jiang attacked but said, as he had expected, the damage of a melee mage is really low. Only 10 points were left in Jiang Li's account. However, Jiang Li did not get discouraged. He said that 10 points are enough. They could not do anything to him anyway, and with that, he hurled at them with the log. After a long fight, Jiang Li finally won over them. He wiped his forehead and said that he finally had worn them down. His physical damage was really too low. Alert. Leveled up by 1 level, current level LV3. Jiang Li said that he only had fireball spells as an offensive magic at that time. With his current mana, using 2 fireballs was already the limit, and during the cooldown of fireball spell, he needed to use light armor spell to ensure his safety. That way, the efficiency was still too slow. A rustle from behind him alerted him, and he turned to find a monster of even bigger size than goblins. His eyes were red. Jiang Li whispered out, an elite monster. He said that eliminating elite monsters in the early stages should provide a lot of experience. Perfect timing for him to excel forward. Jiang Li created a light armor spell, but it did not work. He stood, remained clueless, and checked his energy graph. The monster was a level 10 giant ace goblin. Jiang Li thought that he did not even have enough mana for light armor spells. The level 10 giant ace goblin attacked Jiang Li, and he escaped the attack minorly. He thought that it was going to be a problem. The smaller goblin from earlier came in view, out of the blue, and attacked him. Jiang Li thought that he had almost forgotten about the little monsters. Both the monsters charged at Jiang Li, and he thought that they were bullying him because he was out of his mana. He advised himself to stay calm. From the current situation, there were 3 ways to deal with it. First was to find an opportunity to use meditation to restore mana, but there was no chance to focus in that situation at all. The monsters continued to attack him. A second was to use up that one and only option. That ordinary quality potion could only restore less than 1/3 of the mana. 1 fireball definitely would not be enough, but light armor would suffice. So the only option left was the third one, retreat for them, recover, and come back to fight again. However, running away was not really his style. If he waited for mana to naturally recover, it would take 24 hours. Jiang Lei pulled out the glass bottle that shined bright blue and opened its cork. He thought that during that time the elite monster might be taken by someone else. He drank that shiny liquid and threw the bottle away. The monster attacked him, but light armor got created around Jiang Lai. Jiang Lei checked his energy graph and it had become full. He wondered how much mana he could restore using max-level meditation before light armor broke. He thought that was a gamble. Jiang Lai sat down and started meditating. The monster goblin grunted and charged at the armor of Jiang Lai. No harm could come to Jiang Li under the light armor spell. The energy charge was decreasing. Jiang Li kept on meditating. The attacks worked nothing over the shield. The chart declined to 0 from the tonic. Jiang Lai said that that was enough. He asked the monster if he was getting tired. He said it was his turn then. He clicked his fingers and created a fireball spell. It attacked the monster and he fell backwards. Log, successfully attacked weak point critical hit. Jiang Lai huffed. He wiped the sweat and said that was close. Max level meditation sure was powerful. Level increased by 4 levels, current level 7. The message rattled Jiang Lai. He asked to level up 4 levels just by killing an elite monster. Jiang Lai stepped ahead and said to see if there was anything good. He saw 2 pieces of black iron equipment there. Swift gloves and exquisite leather boots. He said that with his current combat strength, either he kills the monster with 1 hit or the monster kills him in 1 go. Jiang Lai looked at the equipment and said that those beginners' equipment probably would not make much of a difference, and they were also ugly. He added that he would keep them to sell when he gets the chance. On another note, judging by his current mana, he still could not cast a third of Fireball at full capacity, and every time he had to risk his life to gather the monsters together. That efficiency was not even comparable to grinding monsters for a whole day compared to fighting an elite monster. Jiang Li folded his arms and put his chin on his fingers. He asked if only there were other low-cost and wide-range attack spells. Jiang Li kept on thinking. He found a skill book there. He picked it up excitedly. He looked at it and said that even novice classes could learn it. He opened the book and searched within for the skill. He read about Arc Lightning. Jiang Lai said he remembered it was an area of effective skill. It was Arc Lighting level 10. It could be cast in 5 seconds. Mana consumed would be 0 points and could be jumped between multiple targets. Paralysis effect and damage were tied to the user's level. Jiang Lai said that it was actually a scalable skill and it had a control effect. He could not wait to try it out. He searched within the green forest in search of those he could try the new skill upon. He reached a camp of new species and attacked them with Arc Lightning. All the members fell and got up again. Jiang Li asked if 1 shot was not enough. He said that there came another one again and he attacked them again. Jiang Lai thought that though the damage was not as high as Fireball, but the mana cost of 4 Arc Lightning was barely on par with 1 Fireball. And the casting and cooldown time was faster than Fireball. Plus, no need to gather monsters. The chart showed the level for Arc Lightning as full, that the MP had gone below half of the full. Jiang Lai thought that was not exactly what he needed. Then he had a means to deal with the small monsters. The next target was the area boss of the Grey Forest. Jiang Lai thought that if one elite monster could provide so much experience and rewards, the area boss must be even more rewarding. He thought that learning from the previous lesson before going to the boss, he would replenish his mana there first. Jiang Li asked if that was the goblin tribe. He thought that the area boss should be there. He looked around and wondered if they all would be asleep by then. He thought that while they were sleeping so soundly, he should quickly find the boss and hit him with a couple of fireballs. While he was moving ever so slowly, he stepped over a wood piece. It creaked under his weight, and it alerted Jiang Lai. It woke up a tribe, and Jiang Lai thought he would behave. He attacked the tribal, and it hurt the tribal. Jiang Lai thought that he knew it. The tribal roared, and it woke up the other members of the tribe. They all chased behind him with their axes. Jiang Li asked them to stop chasing and that he was sorry. He still needed mana to fight the boss. The tribals hurled their weapon at him, and it hurt him at the back of his head. Jiang Lai said that he told them to stop. He asked them if they wanted to fight. He threw an Arc Lightning at them, and then again. He told them to take that. He asked them what it was with them picking on him. He said that he did not see the boss anywhere. He asked if he was not in the tribe. Jiang Lai got startled as the floor beneath him started to shake and crack. He questioned earthquake. He asked why all of a sudden. There stood a giant man behind Jiang Lai, and green light shone from his chest. Not long ago, practicing in the forest that late, it was equivalent to seeking death. Yan Quan, Yan Xu's cousin, fought to seize that opportunity to take down Jiang Lai. His cousin would surely be pleased then. He wondered how uncle would reward him then. The boy next to Yan Quan said that it was so late. He asked if the guy surnamed Jiang was still in the forest. Yan Quan asked his friend why he did not trust him. Yan Quan's friend denied it and said he could not dare to doubt his brother, no Quan. What he meant was it was dangerous to be out in the wild at night. If he encountered an elite monster or a boss, entry-level practitioners could not handle him at all. The earth shook as all of them stood and talked. Yan Quan noticed and remarked that someone had triggered the area boss. He did not expect an unexpected gain. He said that the area boss, there was the goblin shaman. The three of them, black iron-level practitioners, could barely handle it. No matter who was fighting the boss right then, it was best to let them fight for a while. He said that they would give them a taste of their attack later. Jiang Li asked if that was the area boss of the Greywood Forest. He thought that it seemed like its momentum was not as strong as the previous elite monsters. Jiang Li stood before a level 20 boss, Goblin Shaman. Goblin Shaman casted a spell and threw at Jiang Li, whereas Jiang Li casted a fireball spell. Jiang Li asked the Goblin Shaman if he was also a mage. He remarked that his casting spell was too slow. Jiang Li attacked him with his spell, and it successfully attacked weak point. It was a critical hit. The goblin attacked Jiang Li even from behind the fireball. Jiang Li said that he knew it would not be that simple. Jiang Li got a warning that he had been hit by a level 5 ice arrow from the boss Goblin Shaman. Jiang Li pondered, such high damage. The fireball spell surrounded the goblin and Jiang Li escaped and hid behind a tree. Goblin Shaman looked around and he found no one. He cast another spell and threw it at a tree. The tree beside Jiang Li fell, sliced into two halves. Jiang Li thought that he should have hit the weak point just then. That cloak it was wearing could resist flames and must have magic resistance. Jiang Li that he had just cleared the mobs and then straight into a boss fight with his current mana, he definitely could not handle it. He thought to replenish some mana first before it noticed him. The goblin kept on hurling spells while Jiang Li meditated to manage some mana. The tree behind Jiang Li got uprooted and the goblin found Jiang Li. Goblin Shaman laughed and started casting another spell. Jiang Li thought that it was bad. Jiang Li checked his energy chart and said that his mana was not enough to cast Fireball. He added that he would have to fight. He cast an Arc Lightning spell and hurled it at the area boss. It turned out to be enough to create an effect on it. Jiang Li chuckled and said that the paralyzed effect of Arc Lightning at max level could actually interrupt its casting. Jiang Li found it a good opportunity and rushed forward. He snatched the cloak from above the goblin and teased that without that cloak he would not be able to withstand his spells. Journal obtained, treasured robe. Jiang Li thought that they should first take away their equipment and then strike guerrilla style. He said that then it was his turn to strike back. He threw another spell at the goblin. It took it by surprise. The goblin opened his eyes after the attack and he ground his teeth to find himself alone again. He roared and snapped his neck sideways. He threw spells that broke trees. The goblin continued to hurl spells to no results. He went ahead to push aside a tree, but it only chirped. There was no one there. The ground shook and cracked underneath the spells cast by it. Goblin asked for a place to look. Jiang Li jumped from nowhere and threw a fireball spell at the goblin. He said, game was over. Goblin defense failed in front of the fireball attack. Journal successfully attacked weak spots, dealing critical damage. He said to the goblin that although he had defense skills, that was a max level fireball of his. Without fire resistance, even the strongest defense was a one-hit kill. Jiang Li said to Goblin that day he ran into him, so tough luck for him. Journal leveled up by 3 levels, current level LV10. Jiang Li looked at the goblin's wand and said that it was not bad. He should be able to use that wand. He picked up the robe and said that it was just a fire-resistant robe. No wonder it could withstand his fireball. He checked the usage graph for it. It showed it was a fire-resistance robe. Its quality was black iron and the level requirement was level 5 or above. The note noted that wearing that robe could significantly reduce fire damage. Current durability was 0 and was already damaged. Jiang Li asked and said that it was already worn out and felt like it was not much use. He said that the key was the skill book. Journal. Ice Arrow Technique Learning, initial level was level 5 and the current level was maximum. The chart showed Ice Arrow Technique level 10. Its KO was 3 seconds, chanting time was 2 seconds. Mana cost was 200 points. Skill description was that it could cause significant damage to a single target, with the damage amount tied to the user's level. Jiang Li wondered that if a level 5 Ice Arrow Technique had such power, what the max level would do. He picked up the wand and said that it was actually a bronze level wand with magic penetration effect. It was no wonder even max level light armor technique was so vulnerable. Goblin's resentment wand's quality was bronze. Its magic penetration was plus 10 and level requirement was of mage class level 7 or above. The note stated to be aware of that wand carrying that would make him the enemy of all the goblins. He said that with that, he would be able to handle monsters with innate magic resistance in the future. Yan Quan appeared from behind and warned Jiang Lai to not move and keep his hands up. His minion said that there was no one else nearby. That kid's teammates must all be dead. Yan Quan asked Jiang Lai if it was him only. He commented that to defeat a regional boss right after awakening as a professional was not bad. Too bad that those teammates he abandoned were probably stronger than him. Jiang Li asked him how he knew his name. Yan Quan introduced himself and said that he was Yan Quan from the Yan family of Jinqing. He asked Jiang Lai if he had heard he used to bully his cousin at school. He asked Jiang Lai if he thought that the Yan family was powerless. Jiang Lai chuckled awkwardly and said that he was surprised that he was Yan's cousin and Yan was a genius at their school. He could never dare to bully him. Jiang Lai said that he happened to have some small items there. He asked Yan Quan to have a look and see if there was something he liked. He proposed to be friends. Yan Quan said that he did not have to say it, but as for being friends, no way at all. Yan Quan asked what he wanted to protect, his legs or legs. He would try to go easy. Jiang Lai closed his eyes and bargained to not be friends as soon as they met. Quan's minion called him and warned that the kid was using meditation to regenerate mana. Yan Quan asked and said that even if they let him recover fully, then what? The three of them, all at black iron level, could beat a novice, and he was just an ordinary mage. Jiang Lai smirked and said that it was good to know that they all were black iron level professionals. Yan Quan asked if he was not thinking of fighting them to the death. He warned that they would not give him the chance to cast spells. Jiang, without any further ado, cast an arc lightning spell and hurled at them. Yan Quan fell with force. Jiang Lai said that they say villains die from talking too much. He added that he was waiting for his mana to regenerate, but what was he waiting for? Yan Quan called him a bastard. Yan Quan questioned why. He asked how he could cast spells so fast. Jiang Lai said who knew and cast another fireball spell. It destroyed all three of the men against Jiang Lai. Jiang Li commented, indeed, as a black iron tier professional, he had a lot of good stuff on him. Jiang Lai chuckled and asked what else to grind after defeating the area boss, robbing for more profit. He thought that just after defeating the area boss, he had only leveled up 3 times. It looked like he would have to change leveling spots the next day. He thought it was too embarrassing to mention such a shameful thing as 3 black iron tier players robbing a newbie and getting killed. The next scene was of Rose Town from a bright full moon night. Jiang Lai looked around and thought that carrying so much stuff after going out, he was exhausted if only there was a spatial item. Jiang Lai reached the Golden Dragon treasury and said that that should be it. He stepped inside, and there were multiple ladies behind the desk. A girl behind the desk greeted him and asked him if she might help him with something. Jiang Lai said that he wanted to sell some equipment and materials. She asked to wait for a moment and said that she would settle with him soon. A while later, the lady reached Jiang Lai. She informed me that it was all settled. According to the market prices, it was a total of 972,000 flame dragon coins. She added that they had rounded it up to 1 million flame dragons for him. Jiang Lai wondered if he heard 1 million only. He thought that his mom earned only 3,000 to 4,000 a month. He pondered that he made 1 million so easily. He wondered if that was the difference between professionals and ordinary people. At that rate, it would not be long before he could give his mom a better life. Jiang Li asked her if they had any basic skill books for sale there. She affirmed and asked him to follow her. The lady standing above the railing was looking over at this exchange. She asked her assistant if that person was Jiang Lai. Her assistant said that everything was ready. That lady was the Golden City Academy's genius girl, Mo Kinking. The girl took Jiang Lai to the Golden Dragon Treasury Library. Jiang Lai told her that he needed basic mage class skills. He asked her if she had any recommendations. She showed him some of the books and said that those were all beginner-level skills that mages could learn. She told him that he could choose some that he liked. The 4 of those were level D Ice Arrow Technique, and their cost was 600,000 Flame Dragon coins. One of those was level D Wind Blade Technique, and its cost was Flame Dragon coins. Jiang Lai thought that each book cost 600,000. It looked like his 1 million was not really that much. He said that for then he could only buy some low-level ones for transition. He looked at the level D Slowness book and thought that he knew Fireball, Arc Lightning, and Ice Arrow. Both single target and AoE attacks were covered, and he also had Light Armor Technique for defense. Although Arc Lightning had a paralysis effect, the duration was too short. He decided to buy a control skill. Jiang Lai told her that he would take that Slowdown Technique. She replied in affirmation. Slowdown Technique. It was a level 10 book. Its CO was 1 second and chanting time was 0.4 seconds. Its duration was 2 seconds. Mana's cost was 30 points. A skill description was that it could apply a slowdown buff to the target. The slowdown effect was linked to the user's level. Jiang Lai thought that he also needed to solve the problem of mana limit. He decided to buy some supplies with the remaining money. Jiang Li asked her if they sell blue potions or similar items there. She asked him to wait for a moment. The next scene moved to the reception room where Miss Mo Kinking sat with a man with a chubby stomach. The man told her that the information had been gathered. There indeed was a black iron tier dungeon appearing in the Gale Plains, but the entrance was uncertain. They needed to spend some more time searching. Mo Kinking said that it was okay, as long as the entrance was in the Gale Plains, and she would personally take people to search the next day. She thanked the man whose name was Lin. Lin replied that she was welcome. She thought that the person she had seen, Jiang Li. She had heard Jiang Li's awakening ceremony had gone wrong, and he had ended up just an ordinary image. She wondered if it should be possible for him to appear there then. She wondered if what she had seen was wrong. An old man asked her what she was thinking about. Mo Kinking got startled and shook her head. She said nothing at all. He further added that if she could clear that dungeon, her level would definitely skyrocket, and reaching the black iron tier probably would not be a problem. He further added that by the time of the trial competition in a week, she would definitely be able to surpass Miss Lai from the Lei family. Mo Kinking laughed and said there was no time to waste. She asked the man Fubo to gather Mo Da and the others over there. She said that she would lead them into the dungeon herself when the time would come. On the other hand, Jiang Li had moved to Gale Plains and he fought with the Gale Wolves, also using the wand he had gotten. He thought that with the increase in level, the damage of magic had also become higher. He thought that if he went to fight goblins again, arc lightning should be able to one-shot them. Jiang Li attacked them with arc lightning over and over again, but soon he realized it was endless. As they approached him, he ran in the opposite direction. He again cast a spell at them, but realized that those Gale Wolves could actually dodge his arc lightning. Since that was the case, he used the max-level slowdown technique. Jiang Li asked if that was the max-level slowdown technique. Fast casting speed and no trajectory would not be dodged, but it could only be cast on a single target. Using it 3 times in a row was a bit extravagant. Jiang Li thought that he needed to deal with other Gale Wolves before they arrived. He drank the blue potion a moment later. It was a good thing that he bought some supplies at the Golden Dragon Treasury yesterday. That day's monster grinding efficiency was much higher. Log current level of his reached level 11. Jiang Li looked behind from the stone rock he had leaned onto. He looked at the elite monster and thought of the way he should deal with that. It was a level 20 bloodline wolf. Jiang Li pushed the rock onto the elite monster and trapped it beneath it. Then he moved on tackling other wolves with his arc lightning spell. He took care of them one by one and then said to move on and take the mother out. He threw a fireball spell at the elite monster of level 20. Log. Successfully attacked weak spot critical hit. Jiang Li said that it was 1 versus 1 then. He used a slowdown effect and asked the elite monster to behave itself. They fought with each other. Jiang Li said that although he did not know where the weak spot of the Gale Wolf was, one thing was certain. Elite monster was hairy and it was weak and it was on fire. He again used a fireball spell to attack the monster. The weak spot was successfully attacked and it was a critical hit. His level up happened by 2 levels, current level turned LV13. Log. The obtained loot was black iron dagger and black iron ring. Jiang Li picked up the black iron dagger and ring and said that although they were only black iron grade equipment, fortunately, they were small in size. He wondered how much they could be sold for. As Jiang Li picked up the equipment, he heard the noise of rustling from behind. He looked behind him and his eyes turned wide. There was an army of Gale Wolves and they were charging at him. He panicked but managed to resolve his calm. He said that he had just fought an elite monster and there was no need to retaliate against him like that. Jiang Li pulled out the bottle of blue potion and the wolves reached him. But they did not harm him, they ran past him and he was left with his bottle clutching to his heart. He sighed in relief and said so they had not come for him then. Jiang Li realized something and said no in panic. He said that wolves are pack animals and only the Wolf King could summon such a large wolf pack. Someone had triggered the area boss. He rushed behind them shouting he could not let anyone besides himself get to it first. The boss was his. On the other hand, 3 mages who had met Jiang Li earlier battled with strangers who had rendered them alone. The man with grayish-blue hair commented what kind of heroes they were, taking advantage of the situation. The stranger said that although they were not really heroes, if they had to blame anyone, they should blame themselves for being too foolish to come to fight the boss so openly without any preparation. He added that who else would grab it if he did not? He said that their equipment was his. Also, Bloodstripe Wolf King was equally his. One of the familiar mages had already gotten wounded and was on the ground. The other 2 mages said that they gave them the equipment and the Bloodstripe Wolf King. They asked to let them go.